making this video to explain the calibration of my battery discharge units made for Lipos. I think it would work good also for a 4 to 6 cell nickel metal or an ICAD battery pack. Anyway, we'll get on with this. First thing we'll do is hook up power to the unit. If you need to recalibrate it, you probably either held down this top button, or that's the only thing that I've seen that it will reset the calibration. You'll have to recalibrate the unit, so don't hold down that top button except for when we're calibrating this unit. So first thing we'll do, we'll go in, we'll hold down the center button. That will get into the setup for the display. What we'll need to go to is 5, setting 5. That's what resets the unit. Right now it says no. We want to reset the unit. To calibrate it, we'll go to yes, and we'll hold down the middle button. You can use either of the buttons to go swap between no and yes, the top or bottom. We'll hold that center button down and it'll reset the unit. And then the first thing we'll want to do is unplug the unit. It doesn't seem to handle when it's reset working right, but it will after it's unplugged and then plugged back in. So we'll go ahead and unplug the unit. And we'll go through the settings here, about 10 to 15 seconds. As you notice, the upper reading is the voltage reading, the lower reading is the amperage reading. A lot of times that voltage reading won't be at 0, so we'll go through and get it fixed. First thing we'll do is hold down the center button to get it into where we set up the display. And as you can see, it's actually sensing about 0.04 of a volt. And what we do is use the top button to go up, the bottom button to go down. It jumps pretty quick if you hold it down, or if you just press it quickly, it goes in real short increments. And we'll just kind of show you how that works, because we'll go up with the display and you'll see that it'll kind of stay at 4 for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll jump real quick. So you don't want to hold those down for too long, because they will jump. We want to get this set down to 0.01, and we'll get it worked down there. We'll hold the bottom one down. Once we see that display start to change, let off of it. Oh, I may have went too far, so we got to go back up. We want that at 0.01. And what we do, once it's at 0.01, we want to bring it on down to 0. We want to hit that lower button slow, or real quickly. Don't hold it down until that reading is at 0.00. You might have to go a couple clicks more to get it to stay where it stays at 0.00. That's the low calibration of the voltage that we just set. Now we'll go through and set a couple other things so we can get the high display correctly displayed. There's a couple readings here we'll go on through. We'll get to that's the current setting. We'll go on by that. Number 2, that is the amperage setting. We got a 50 amp shunt in here. in this unit. Means it could handle up to 50 amps. We're only going to use about 20 to 25 max, but we want that set at 50. When it resets, a lot of times it'll go back to 15. We want that at 50. Hold that top button down until that reads 50, like that. We'll step on through here. That 3 display is not something we'll need to really worry about. We want that set at N. It can have no or yes. We want it set at no. Go on through. 4, that's the save setting. We'll get back to that. 5, of course, that was the reset. We don't want to reset it now. 6, we'll get back to that later on. 7, the same way. We want to get up to setting 12 as of right now. That's the low voltage setting. We actually want this number right now, a voltage reading higher than your battery pack, that you're going to set the high rating, high voltage setting. So we're going to take that number up. This battery's got about 7.8 volts in it. We want to go up above that, so we'll get it up around 8 for right now. We'll change that back later to a different figure. Step on by. We go to setting 13. It's calibration for the voltage. We want that number to be 10. Usually that's right when you reset it. We go to setting 14. Well, it's the status of the relay in the unit. For right now, we want it set at 0. We will change it later. Now we'll go back to setting 4. That's the save. We'll go ahead and change that from no to yes, and we'll save it by holding down the center button. Showing our voltage at 0 like it should be. And we'll hook up to a good voltage source to see what the battery voltage is. Got my iCharger out here. It's showing about 7.80. I don't know if you can read that on the camera or not, or on the, but we want 7.80 for a high voltage. We'll go ahead, go on in to the 0 or the 1 setting again. We'll hold down that center button to get into the. So we want to unhook from the iCharger. The 0 setting. Hook up to our battery pack. We want that reading. It was at 7.8081. Let's go ahead and take that down to 81. Remember the steps. Holding it down will go quick. Clicking it quickly, it'll go down slowly. So we want it to go down, click the lower button until we get that down to 781. And it's actually going between 81 and 80. It was like 806, so that should be pretty doggone close. We'll go ahead, step through to the 4 setting. We'll save it again. Need to change that to Y and hit it. The alarm's annoying. Shut that off with the center button. And what the unit was doing there, we'll change the setting. You can see the voltage is lower. It's actually still discharging the battery a little bit, but we'll be okay. If we actually get down here, we'll see that it's real close. Okay, we'll go on through here. We'll change some settings in here. We'll hold down center button again until it gets into the setting display. Okay, we're in there. Make sure you unhook your battery before. Current setting we'll set here. We can set it right now. It's at 0. We want to do the same like we did with the voltage. We want to get it up to 0.1, and you may have to hold down that top button for quite a while until it jumps up above. Okay, we got it up above. We'll bring that back down to 0.01 just like we did with the voltage. Hold it down. Once you see it move, let off. Let off. This one we'll just kind of click back down until we get it down to 0.1. Got it down to 0.1. We'll take it on down to where it's at 0, 0, 0. Hitting that lower button, just clicking. We got it down to 0, 0, 0. That should have your amperage calibrated pretty close. I've never checked the upper range on it. I know it's pretty close, so I've never messed with the upper range. But if you wanted to get an ammeter out, a 25 amp meter, and hook in series, it's your choice, but it's not necessary. We'll click on through 50 like it was. We'll go ahead and save the settings since we're there. Click that to yes. Go on through. Do like we done before. Hold down the center one, get it into the setup. And we got some more settings to set. We'll go to 6. We want this set to your high voltage. We don't want to see really anything over 8.8. Anything higher than that and you're going to be maxing out the wattage of the resistors. So we're going to set this up to 8.8. We'll have to hold down that top button for a while here to get it up there to 8.8. If you're taking a nickel metal or a Nike head down that's got voltage higher than 8.8, you can take it probably on up over the voltage. I wouldn't go too much over 9. And when you go to discharge, turn it on and off for short periods of time, because you are maxing the amperage or the wattage those resistors can handle. So you do it in short bursts, it should be fine, not get them too hot. If otherwise, get them too hot, they'll eventually burn out. We'll go on through. That's where we want it. We want to go to step to 7. When we want that set to the amperage, maximum amperage. And the reason I'm going to set this one too, to prevent somebody putting and also with the voltage, prevent somebody from putting a 3-cell Lipo on here, because if you do, it's going to burn those resistors out. So we'll put this up to 26 for 26 amps. It's a little protection for the unit. Make sure you don't accidentally, one of your buddies put a 3-cell Lipo on there, because it will hurt it. So we'll get it on up here to 26. So you set your over voltage and your over current. Get that 26. Okay, got that set. Now we'll go up to setting 12. Click the center button. This is your low voltage. This is the voltage you want your unit to shut off at. I personally take this number down to 6.97. That's where it's pretty close to when the unit is not hooked up, that is, the battery is at rest, not discharging, will be anywhere from 7.2 volts up to about 7.35 volts. And the reason I use that for that 6.97, that's actually the voltage at the resistors. I could have ran some wires out here with the leads and sensed out here at the battery, but I think rather than making a messy setup, this works better. We'll take this figure down. A new unit, I would honestly set it at 7, and that's where we'll set it at for right now. We'll take it on down to 7. And then also, like if you were discharging a nickel metal or an ICAD with this unit, you might take that down to what, 5.4. That's what we did old school, take them down to 5.4, and then if you want to take them on down further with something else, that's your choice. But that was where we always had to set off for like our bulbs. But for Lipos, 7 volts is good. Like I say, I usually set them at 6.97. Seems like that's a pretty good setting. Like I say, it takes, when you discharge it right, it'll take it down to about 7.2 volts. For a really good pack, an older pack, it might only take it down to about 7.35, but that's a good set-off point and won't take the cells down too far in your pack and get it ready for a recharge. We'll go on through the settings. 13, of course, we want at 10. 14, now we want to set this to 1. 0 and 1 is the 2 settings. That's the status of the relay when you turn it on. Before, when we're calibrating the voltage, we left that set at 0. Now we want to set that to 1 and make the relay in the unit operate in the right sequence. That is, when you want to discharge the battery, it will turn on. When you don't want to discharge the battery, it'll shut off, or when your voltage gets too low. So we set that to 1. We'll click on back through to 4. That's the save setting. We'll switch that to yes, and your unit should be calibrated and ready to go. I'll make another video here in just a little bit to show the operation of the unit. If you want to see on the voltage if it's pretty close, on the battery pack we'll show 7.75 there on the unit. We'll put it on our iCharger and it should be pretty close to that, within about 1/100 of a volt. And it's showing 7.59, 7.61 there. So it's within 100th, that's good. Got the unit real close, should work good for you now. I'll go ahead and hook up the battery real quick to the unit. We'll power it on, it should work. Hold the center button down, the voltage should drop and the amperage should jump up to, we'll put it on the high rate, it should jump up to about 23 amps discharge. Yep, 22.8 amps discharge, and as you can see the voltage is going down. Hold the center button or push the center button again, it shuts it off. Don't hold it down, just push it. Now it's not discharging any, and the voltage is 7.72. That's the explanation for the recalibration of the unit. I figured it'd be easier to do online on a video, show you guys how to do it. Rather than trying to explain it, I will have some instructions with it. and go through the same steps. But this was the easy way, probably the easy way to tell you how to do it. So, thanks for checking out my battery discharger.